Bourbonbarkeep. Curtis.
Noah, great to be here as always, man.
We have 3 bottles here.
Sure do.
Did I think that we would pull the trigger or even find the entire series? No. No, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about these guys until a couple weeks ago, really.
Green glass, a little like, I guess, a play on farm to table. But yeah. I know Heaven Hill is kind of doing like a little contract thing with Beck's Hybrid, where they have like special corn strains or something like that. So it's in Heaven Hill's backyard.
Yeah.
So Heaven Hill, they put out this grain glass stuff. You have your just bourbon, you have a weeded, and then you have a rye. And this is the only cask strength.
Okay.
The other ones, even though the weeded's pretty high, like 121,
like 121.
Which we'll get to. We'll give it its due. We got the 107 bourbon.
Yeah.
So we'll do that first. We'll kind of walk through the proofs, score as we go. So we don't have any favorites, if you will.
Sure.
Pin siblings against each other.
Right, everybody gets a fair shake, you know?
Yeah. I think the thing, so we're going to talk about the $100. That's what the SRP is. That's what we luckily found them at.
Before, let me interject. I need to give a shout out to Ethan at Gomers. He hooked us up with these. Ethan, if you're listening, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
I think one of the things that intrigues me most, at least, about this, I mean, the $100, tough to swallow, but you are talking about the grain to glass. I don't think it's going to be a gimmick necessarily, but you're talking about a legacy distiller, someone that's been out there for centuries.
Yeah.
Coming up with new recipes. So this is something that hasn't existed from a legacy distiller until now. So people are going to gripe about the 100 SRP. It takes research and it takes a lot of time and effort to sit there and come up with these new mash bills, usable mash bills as well. And then you're still talking about, you know, this grain to glass. Like, do people care? Probably not. But ultimately, I think it's fun to see a legacy distiller branch out and do something that they haven't done.
I don't think it's a money grab. I hope it's not a money grab. Like you said, I'm excited to try it. I do have high hopes considering the price tag.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to try it, man. Let's dive in.
So we'll dive in. We're going to start with the bourbon. We have 107 proof. I think one of the big complaints around the Old Forester 10-year was that it wasn't a higher proof. Yeah. So I think Heaven Hill, whether it was on purpose or listening or not, I'm happy that they bumped it up from 100 to this 107.
Give him a little man.
Yeah.
A little bit.
As they should.
Sure.
I hope they do stomp on him a little bit just to like, hey, Old Forester, maybe
Can't guard me.
Maybe that 10-year 100 proof should be 110. What else we got? All of these are going to be non-age stated, but they are known to be at least 6.
Yeah, 6 to 7 years is the rumor mill. As far as mash bill goes, I believe 52% corn.
Yes.
35% rye, if I'm not mistaken.
35% rye, and when it comes to the new recipe, to give people kind of, so they don't have to Google it, the regular one, like the Elisha Craig is what they're putting out, the 75, 13% rye. So you're talking almost triple the amount.
I'm expecting it to be a touch spicy because of that high rye content, so.
We shall see.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Thank you very much. To you guys, thanks for being here. If this is your first time, welcome. If you enjoy the content, please hit like and subscribe. We'd love it.
If you can put up with the content, just if you can.
If you can tolerate.
Yeah.
It'd be helpful. If this
That's our bar.
Right. Yeah. If this is your not first time, welcome back. Appreciate you. So that's my spiel.
I like your spiel, and I hope I like this glass.
To you now.
To
Alrighty.
Ethan.
To the, to Ethan. Yeah. To the bourbon.
That rye comes out. Some mint.
Yeah. I get, there's some fruits here too, like a peach.
Man, this is
a
very rye heavy to where you go in, you hear bourbon, you think 107 proof, and I'm coming out bright, light.
Yeah, this is like a peach pie. It's like, I mean, it has all those spices along with that peach for me.
It's definitely more in that stone fruit range to where I see the peach, almost like an unripe peach, not overripe, unripe.
Sure. Man, yeah, I like that nose, I will say.
I like the nose. If you handed this to me and you're like, hey, try this bourbon, I'd be like, you're an idiot.
You sure this is bourbon?
This is not it.
It is bare minimum in terms of corn content. Like, it is a very high rye bourbon.
All right, let's see. I don't feel like I did the nose justice because I'm going in like thinking rye.
We'll see. Wow.
Just It's bourbon.
That packs a punch for 107, I will say.
That's nice.
It's a great finish.
Great finish. Hangs around a long time. A lot of the brown sugar and toffee immediately comes through to where I forget that there was mint on the mind.
Sure.
The nose does not translate to the palate whatsoever.
No, it changes for sure. I mean, there's not much peach there anymore. Yeah, that's so different from what I was expecting after nosing.
Yeah, it's all dark.
A lot of caramels.
Like you said, like I don't feel like it goes into any fruit almost. It's like there's a kind of a weird kind of rubber in there to where I'm trying to figure out if I like it or not.
Like a Band-Aid?
It kind of takes me to like, like the new parks to where like kids are kind of soft so they can't fall off of the monkey bars, so they have to land on like rubber. Meanwhile, like we used to land on like mulch.
The wood chips.
Get, like literally stabbed.
Yeah, the wood chips were not good. I'm glad they fixed those for the kids nowadays. You know what I mean?
It sounds like a bad note to get, but it's kind of a fun note because it brings you back to your childhood a bit more.
It is, and it's just different. It's a little unique.
Yeah, the oak does kind of come through more so than what I would have thought on a 6-year bourbon. But the rye spice is there. I don't get a ton of cinnamon.
Yep.
Like when you're talking bourbon, I feel like you can kind of go through some of these notes to where this kind of goes into like a black pepper.
Yeah.
Hangs around, but the finish is fantastic for 107. But that 107, the 115 has really been a sweet spot for me.
Sure.
Especially in like the spring, summer months as well.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. As far as scoring goes,
we do need to talk about that.
Yeah, we have categories. If you've been here before, you know the spiel, but we have categories to kind of help us place bottles, compare them to one another. Flash those on the screen now. And then we have 2 categories that we score by. First being senses, it's just overall how much we like the bourbon, the nose, the palate, the finish, the whole 9 yards there. And then we have a category called bang for the buck, where we take price into account and talk about, would we pay up for that bottle? Would we never ever buy it again at that certain price? That sort of thing. So take it away, man. Senses. For Heaven Hill bourbon, 107 proof, high rye mash bill.
Bourbon,
6 to 7 years.
Yep. I think I'm like 67. Like that sounds like a low score. Our highly average, unmemorable is our 50. So it punches above that.
Yeah.
It's pleasurable. I can't put it into the good stuff.
Okay.
Like I feel like it's a little unmemorable.
See, I like
and that doesn't even touch on bang for the buck.
Sure.
So I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, where it's going to get hurt for me is bang for the buck. I did like it quite a bit. I liked it more than you, it sounds like. I was going to go 73.
Okay.
I think it's low end good stuff. Like I'm going to have no problem drinking that, finishing that bottle. Where it will get hurt is $100. Is that a $100 bottle? No.
Yeah, you can go glass half full. So if you wanted to argue both sides, you're talking about legacy distiller, brand new stuff, grand to glass, like doing something that they've
some awesome
never
elements.
done.
Yeah.
So I'll give credit where credit's due. Is it 100?
No.
No.
But yeah, getting above, I mean, your barrel proof stuff it's not that type of bottle.
Yeah.
So that is what it is.
I'm gonna be nice, and I'm gonna go 48.
Okay.
Like it's not 100. I have a tough time on the 6-year age statement. The proof, thank God, it's at 107.
Yeah.
It's a quality pour. But if I saw it for $100, I would have a tough time paying at 85 right now.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little lower, actually. I'll go 45. I'm going to knock it a little bit more. It's just not a $100 bottle. It's good.
Yeah.
And I am like not upset about drinking it right now by any means, but I won't be buying it again at $100.
Yeah.
So, all right. On to the weeded. Now this one packs a much larger punch. I want to say 121 point, is it 121 even?
You can cheat if you want.
Yeah, I was trying not to, but then it just sounds like I'm guessing. Yeah, we're 121 even, and doing the math there, that's 60.5% alcohol by volume.
Proud of you. Proud of your mathing.
That's right.
To give context where we're at, so Larceny, the other weeded Heaven Hill, that usually is your 68% corn, 20% wheat, 12% barley. This is coming in at 35% wheat.
Okay, wow.
So they really amped up the wheat here.
Okay, yeah. So we should get a lot of that. Yeah.
It's definitely a softer nose. It's a more approachable nose. This would be going blind. I wouldn't sit there and tell you it's a wheater right off the bat, but I could definitely tell you it's a bourbon.
Yeah.
This one could have fooled me and picked rye. But this one goes much brighter, a little bit of that cherry, oak, cinnamon.
Yeah, I definitely get the cherry.
Hot tamale, if you will.
I get like a little bit of like frosting in here, almost like Frosted Flakes.
So you get a little bit more wheat then.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, I mean, it's grainier than what we were doing with the bourbon.
Sure. That's expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I see your Frosted Flakes now.
Man, I will say that is remarkably smooth for 121. That's very nice.
All right, that one's good.
That's better.
That one's good.
That makes me feel a little bit better about the $100 price tag.
Yeah, the hot tamales kind of comes through on the palate in a great way. Like it's a candied cinnamon.
Yeah, there's some vanilla in here.
A lot of red fruit, a lot of vanilla. Remember when we always do the Werthers with like the caramel ones?
Yeah.
Remember they did like a strawberries and cream one?
Yeah, the swirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's there.
This is really good. I'm impressed by this one quite a bit.
It's much, much sweeter than what that bourbon is. Okay, let me ask you this. So we said 121, is that right?
Yes.
This drink's 115.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Like, if you were to go blind with these two, I probably would guess this is hotter.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, like a giant compliment to how smooth this is.
Very smooth. I love that candied cinnamon that they were able to pull off with this wheat. That one, am I excited to pay 100 for it for a wheat? 6-year-old wheat when you already have a Larceny barrel proof out there for what, 70 I think now?
75, yeah. I mean, what I will say though is this, especially that last batch they put out, this is much better than that Larceny barrel proof.
Yeah.
So take that for what it is.
Yeah, if you've seen the other reviews, Larceny hasn't done well, and we do enjoy the Larceny barrel proof. Some channels do not. We do enjoy them. B and C last year were very, very good. I almost went with incredible. That seems high.
Sure.
This is better than both Larceny barrel proofs this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd venture to say by quite a bit. So getting into scoring here, this is going to do better. We already did the spiel, if you will. So starting with senses, I can start.
Please.
I'm going to go 78. That's not quite in the great to fantastic category. That's, I mean, those bottles that enter that category are kind of few and far between, but that's damn close to it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go 78 on senses.
I think that's a great number on second sip. The cinnamon was still there. That's still red hot is there. It kind of goes into like a sweet tarts as well.
Okay.
But it has a very candied palate to it with a great, smooth, very long finish.
Yeah.
Like I still feel it going down into my tummy.
The tummy, yeah, right in the bladder.
I think 78 is a really good number just to be different. I'll probably go 77, but it's kind of nitpicky. 79 just feels high.
Sure. Bang for the buck. So this is much more justifiable at $100. I'm going to go 55. I'm going to go full 10 points above the previous one.
Okay.
I know we're trying not to compare and base our scores off of the previous bottle, but like that justifies $100. And with the grain to glass, with the legacy distiller, all of the things that go into that. We haven't mentioned the marketing yet. It's a beautiful bottle. It really is, which kind of adds to it for me.
The transparency, I think, is something that will be not talked about enough. Because you can sit there and see exactly when it was distilled, what's in there, where it came from.
Sure.
It was really cool.
That is cool. So yeah, I'll go 55. Hit me.
I think it punches at 100. Knowing that there's cheaper out there that is pretty close, at least when you're talking about those Larceny barrel proofs, still not going to do that well. I'll go 53.
Okay. Yeah.
Once again, that 100 number is tough at 6 years.
It is kind of a mental block.
The proof is better here.
It definitely helps for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man. Last but not least, we have the rye.
This is the only barrel proof one. All of these are non-chill filtered,
Okay.
which I don't think we mentioned at least. And then if we go back to the usual one, for the lounge fans, the same laptop is here. So, yeah, it's well traveled.
Cheers, that's right.
Yeah. So the usual rye is 37% corn, 51% rye.
Okay.
So you're going to have that barely legal rye, kind of closer to their Pikesville.
Sure.
So this one is going to be 63% rye.
Wow, okay.
So
it's heavy.
a jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Not your 95.5.
Not your 95.5.
Yeah.
That's up there.
I do like that. I feel like I'm going to say the same thing. I got to revisit.
Dig in, man. Well,
Yeah.
you're thinking it's very herbal.
It's herbal. It still has that mint eucalyptus, but there's a little more dill to where...
Ooh, with the dill, bringing it back. About a month ago, we were all on the dill with the little book.
I'm telling you, this kind of reminds me, it's a little less like brown sugar, a little less sweet than what the Little Book Chapter 8 was, but a quick pass.
Sure.
It does remind me a little bit.
This one's a little hotter as well. I want to say it's 123, 123.2, so 61.6% ABV. And again, these are all rumored to be 6-7 years. So this is the hottest one of the three, just barely. The nose is really approachable for being that hot.
Yeah, you can really get in there. Little pine coming out.
Yeah.
This goes a little bit away from what I typically gravitate towards in ryes. Like, I love that Pikesville, that cherry cola. There's no cola in here.
No.
Like, this is going to go into like more like essential oils.
Yeah, I like that mint eucalyptus comparison. My wonderful girlfriend has a diffuser that she uses in the house, and there's like a mint eucalyptus like flavor, I guess. What do you call that?
Change your life.
Yeah, it reminds me a scent.
It's a scent.
It reminds me of that for sure. This is really good. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of pine coming out as at least we spend some time with it.
This reminds me of the Pacific Northwest.
Oak and the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, sure. Just the entire
This is
region.
just the trail.
That's delightful.
That tip of the palate was fantastic. And now
A lot of oak on the end.
it tastes like toothpaste, and I'm not upset at it.
I get a little mint. Yeah, I get a ton of oak on the end.
Like I get like that kind of vanilla. It's like you know what this is? Damn it. If I didn't stumble into this, I would look so smart. It was a mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Okay, fair enough.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I really enjoy it. Like, I get the chocolate in the back of the palate, mint right up front, but there's that sweetness, that cream sweetness that I'm here for.
Sure.
Once again, I mean, you could tell me that's 110 proof, and I would believe you.
Yeah, they've managed to obviously kick up the proof a notch and been able to keep that smoothness, which is really impressive, especially on the latter two. Man. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go second sip. I think this is probably third sip. I've casually just been downing this thing.
You do you, but my God, like, it's very syrupy. Like, there's a nice maple syrup kind of starting to come through.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned like the viscosity. All three of them have a great coating, like a great mouthfeel.
This one tastes the most oily, and this one kind of lingers probably the longest, if I had to guess. This one, it's just, the bourbon's a little unmemorable. Like,
Especially
even taking price
compared,
out, I
yeah,
think it
especially
would be a
compared to the
problem.
latter two. The latter two have a certain uniqueness to them that one doesn't.
What I do feel confident in saying is I would still pick this over the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond 7-year, because that's 40, 45. This does not drink like that. This is a higher quality, for sure.
Yeah, and by quite a bit, yeah. All right, scoring the rye. Senses, you go first this time. I don't want the pressure.
I really enjoyed it. I think I'd probably go 79.
Okay.
I don't think I can put it into great, but I do really enjoy it. I may just be kind of the Russian judge tonight for some reason. I don't know why.
Did you have a rough day?
I don't think so. I was kind of looking forward to some pours, but I just can't bring myself to, wow, that's great.
Yeah, and like I said, few and far between bottles do make it into that 80 plus category. That's why we have these categories, because it just kind of helps us.
Helps guide us.
It helps quantify the number. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Yeah, you went 79, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the weeded, I think, the best. And I know, like I said, I'm trying not to compare against each other. But since I like this one the best, and I gave that one a 78, I'll go 77 here.
That's fair.
It's damn close.
Yeah.
So $100 again, the entire set, $300 if you're able to buy them all. $100, I'll go 53 here. I think this also justifies $100. Am I going to buy a backup at 100? Probably not.
Yeah.
But am I upset that I walked out of a store spending $100 on that? Not really, no. So 53, final answer. Hit the buzzer. We had a buzzer on one time. I don't really know where that went.
We did. We kind of embarrassed ourselves a couple times.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. Stuff sticks, stuff doesn't too.
Yeah, I mean, that's life. That's our journey.
Sure.
All right, so bang for the buck on my side. I mean, it's kind of the same specs. To where you're like, I kind of have the same feel for it. To where I think I'll just match it.
Yeah.
The 53. Like, I don't feel like the palates are so different. I mean, you're talking, we did it in rye. Good, look at me go.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, I don't feel like I got more for my money. It's still 6 years.
Yeah.
Okay, the proof's 2 more. Yay. But if I were to walk in the store, for my bourbon collection, I think I would pick up the rye over the wheated because it's just so different. Like, give me something that I don't have, and I don't have a lot of the mint, eucalyptus, dill,
That's very
mint
fair.
chocolate chip ice cream.
That's very fair.
I feel like I have a fair amount of hot tamales, but this is really damn close. And depending on your palate, if you want to enjoy the rubber playground, go back here.
Sure.
This 107 drinks every bit like those two.
Yeah. So depending on what time of year it is, depending on what you're wanting, that might be of more interest to you than it was for us tonight in the August heat.
Well, even if you're a proof guy and you're like, I need the 140.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to drink just like your 120s. So don't shy away from that. If you like what the tasting notes were, like, go here. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
In terms of being a little different from my collection, I think I would go here, but on a different day, I could see myself pulling the trigger on the wheated.
Sure. Just to summarize the set as a whole and my thoughts, is it a money grab? No. Yeah. Would I feel much better about the set if they were $79.99? I would. I think that'd be a little more fair. I think Heaven Hill is reaching a little high at 100. They think very highly of this set, and I mean, they should. They put out 3 really quality bottles. 100's a little steep. Yeah. After trying them.
I'm with you. I mean, if these were priced at 80, I think these would be sought after.
Sure.
And
well, if these were put out 2 years ago, I mean, just it's hard to ignore that the entire whiskey market has just, everything is $10-20 more expensive than it probably should be at this point. And when you find a bottle that's not Green River Full Proof, it's a gem.
Well, Jack 12, Jack 10, you're like, come on.
Yeah. This
you'll never find them.
This stage in whiskey it's expensive. So if you want to think about it that way and make yourself feel better, then you can do that as well. You got anything else, man?
Gonna finish a couple of these glasses.
That's right.
When I say a couple, I'll finish.
Maybe we have a little stogie tonight. Beautiful out.
It's been a bit.
Beautiful out.
Been a bit. Outside of that, once again, like, subscribe.
Please. Not to beg. Please.
Yeah, I'm close to doing an OnlyFans at this point. So.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate you.